진 경기장 도시양.
Well, here we are on the map Shakuris Plateau, and in the yellow representing the Team Mouz winner of our last game, it is none other than Mouz.biGs. And in the upper right part of the map, in the purple, or should I say violet, from the Team Empire, it is indeed Violet.
Yes, it is, guys.
Yep.
So on a little bit of a tear recently, of course.
Yeah.
Calling out GG right there. I think he's going to leave the game. Nope, okay, he's still in.
Nope.
All right.
That's a Korean thing. They like to say GG at the start of games.
But you know, a recent winner of IEM Sao Paulo was super happy. I'm friends on Facebook with Violet. Figured I'd let you know. Yeah,
dude.
But no, the reason I bring that up is because he was actually just like posting ridiculous amounts of "Holy crap! I'm so happy. This is so awesome. Thank you so much for supporting me, etc., etc." And it was a big moment for him. It was really cool to see.
Awesome. Yeah, that kid has worked really hard too. I mean, he trains very hard. Definitely deserved a win like that for sure. Yeah, quite cool. So ZVZ, I have this feeling that Violet is going to go mutas. This is a pretty good map for mutas and ZVZ. Obviously, there's a lot of room to fly and kind of get away. And mutas have been so popular in ZVZ, especially in Korea as well. So I've got a feeling that's Violet's plan here. Now, the thing with mutas is that if your opponent responds appropriately and gets an infestation pit, goes for infestors, you know, mutas aren't a good long-term solution. So what we've been seeing a lot of players do after they get, you know, maybe about half a dozen or more mutas out is go into just regular roach infestor, roach hydra at that point, and just kind of use the mutas as a way to make their opponent, you know, get those infestors and hydralisks at kind of a weird time and just kind of throw their opponent off with a small group of mutas and then go into something else. Very rarely do you see players stick on mutas for the entire game.
And looks like it was a 16 pool for Violets, a little bit faster, a 15 pool for Bigs. But, you know, I think the Muta versus Muta Wars are very fun as well. I just think they're interesting to watch. I also really love when one player goes down the Roach Infestor route and the other player goes down the Muta route to see how that plays out long-term as well. So we'll see what we get here in this game, of course. Both players putting up their first gas. They're going to have nice economic bases, though, to drop down some early queens. So it looks like we're playing for a little longer ZVZ for now.
Yep, not too surprising to see both of these guys going hatch first. You generally have players add on a Hydralisk tent, too, when their opponent goes roaches as well, just because if you have just Roach Infestor, you can kind of sit above the army with like one Muta and target Infestors and then try to get them to use a fungal on just one unit at a time, too. And that's definitely not efficient, especially because you need at least 2 fungals to take out a Mutalisk, too. So you need to have those Hydralisks to kind of stay alive against someone who goes mutas. So when you're making someone go so many different tech paths at once and you just sit back at home and go for like really heavy Roach Infestor out of that or heavy Roach Hydra out of that after only making a few mutas, it's very strong, and that's, you know, again, why we see so many people doing it. But I could be completely wrong. I mean, he might just decide to play standard old school ZVZ. I mean, we'll see what he decides to do. Both these guys probably going to be getting their Baneling Nest fairly soon. Although where they know each other both went hatch first, they may decide to skip it. Oh, but there is a Baneling Nest for both of them, actually. Yeah, still a little bit unsafe to not get the Baneling Nest, even if your opponent does go hatch first.
Right. And, you know, these players have both been as close can be, as a matter of fact. They run identical supplies forever. We had a small round of drones come up for Volley, but that's been the only difference in this game so far. Down to the only differences being, of course, a 9 Overlord versus a supply, versus the Extractor trick, and a slightly earlier pool for Bigs. That's it. I mean, that's been the only differences in this entire game. They both had the same mindset going into this.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'll have to see if Violet just decides to do some scouting with this. Obviously, he's not going to be able to do a whole lot else, and with the Spine Crawler at the front, he's not going to do anything like crazy, like try to run Banelings in with him or something like that.
Yeah.
And, oh, he's actually going to get into the main. Get to see everything. Nice scout there by Violet.
And, you know, actually, he's going to finish his Zergling speed up as well right now. So there's the Nos.
There he goes.
And he may be able to duck out of there as well. Oh, I guess he's going to have to go past that Spine Crawler again, so no, he's done for.
Yep, that's right. That Zergling will get taken out eventually. There it goes. But he does see everything, which is very nice. Sees the number of gases. Sees the Baneling Nest as well.
did he see the no? The evolution chamber is actually coming up at the back there for Biggs.
Okay.
He's morphing in a couple of banelings and going right into a roach warren right now. Violet decided to make a few more banelings. They're just sitting inside of his base defensively for now. Biggs, of course, going right into +1 weapons.
Yeah, and as you can see, Violet not making any roaches, instead adding on some more lings himself and just droning largely. Looks like something did try to run in there, and Violet did lose a baneling to that scouting ling, but at least he prevented his opponent from getting into his base. It's been kind of nice. All right, second gas going up for Violet. So will it just be the second gas, or will we see possibly 3?
Well, Biggs does have his, yeah, we'll find out in a bit, as Biggs does actually have his layer tech coming, and Violet is expanding.
Yeah, and adding that roach warren. Okay, so completely different than I thought it would be. It's not going to be Mutalisks this game, I don't think. Just going to try to go for a huge economy build.
And Biggs, he's morphing in a few more banelings, and we're going to see if Violet wants to push this, sends one ling up just to see what's going on. That ling is going to get killed, and we'll see if he wants to commit with the rest. No, just 2 at a time now, so we can sneak some things through into the main.
Yeah, he does get into the main and sees everything. Very nice. He does see the roach warren and the lair going as well, so he knows he's probably going to need to start his own lair. Yep, just starts his lair right now. Doesn't want to be too far behind his opponent in tech.
And one baneling ducking down, but of course it can't get too far. It will get picked off here in a bit. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Layer tech is coming up, but the first few roaches have already hit for Biggs. Of course, he's not invested in this next base, so he's got a little bit stronger army right now.
Yeah, now Violet knows he's going to be behind a little bit on tech because he did go for that faster third. But if he can hold the push from Biggs, you know, if Biggs decides to do some sort of +1 timing with a bunch of roaches, which it doesn't look like he's going to do that. He's making a bunch of drones. You know, Violet would have to try to hold that. There's some roaches coming out now for Biggs, but don't think it's going to be a huge push yet. He's going to wait probably until roach speed finishes with this one.
He does have +1 just finishing up as well. His opponent is about 90 seconds behind, so if he's able to attack in that time frame, it would be good for him. But look at the way that Violet is actually macroing now, especially sitting on another base with more production. And as that kicks in at 102 supply, 12 roaches popping out at once, and he will be finishing up his +1 in about, let's see here, 70 seconds.
And he's going to need to cancel this hatchery too. Yeah, isn't able to keep that handy. Oh, even gets the drone. Nice job by Violet. That is actually huge to be able to cancel that and kill the drone. That significantly slows down the third for Mouz.bigs.
Well, we'll see if he sends another drone out. Indeed he is, so he'll try and take that again momentarily. Let's see. Burrow actually coming up right now. Roach speed significantly ahead, and he does have +2 weapons coming out, but of course we'll see if he's going to be able to attack with that, because right now he has to worry about this new hatchery coming up.
Yeah, very strong army for Mouz.bigs, but unfortunately not a very large one. Violet is going to be able to pull way ahead in supply now at this point. Oh, that changeling gets a good view of things, though. It sees that third.
Yes, it does. Going to keep running around as well, trying to run back to its mother, the Overseer. So, let's see here, though. Roach count is 25 to 22 in favor of Violet at the moment. He's got 10 more roaches just popping out all at the same time as well. He has not started +2 weapons, though, so he will be behind in the upgrade counts, but he will have a massive unit advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the roach count right now, by the way?
Oh, it's, like I said, it's 32 to 26. So
okay, yeah, so quite a bit ahead. I missed that.
35
that
to
earlier.
26.
Yeah,
yep, no problem.
And it looks like it's going to be a roach speed timing move up for Violet, setting down some creep as well. I don't know if this is the best timing for him, though. He does have the roach advantage, but +2 is getting pretty close to finishing for Mouz.bigs. Right now things are even, though. And I don't know, man. Yeah, Violet turning around right away. He's like, was not a good idea.
Yeah, especially because he didn't run up. He was missing about 6 of his roaches as well with that, so a little unfortunate there. He is filtering in as many more as he possibly can, but of course +2 just about to finish up now for Biggs. And Biggs is actually down a little bit, slightly in workers, so the army sizes aren't terribly different. 44 roaches, now 52 roaches. I
Violet
take
wants
that back
to
a little
push
bit.
again with this, too.
And +2 is 10 seconds away from finishing.
This is not good for Violet. He does have a roach advantage here, but +2. Oh, it's not finished yet.
No, now it's finished.
Okay, now it is, yeah, and Violet having to pull back right away.
Yeah.
Yep, trading some units. Supply is even, though, now for both these guys, and now Biggs is the one with the advantage, having that +2 weapons.
Violet decided to drone up there as well, put another round of 10 up, I believe it was. So he is falling a little bit behind in roach count, 45 to 41 right now. Both players reinforcing pretty well. Violet trying to set up for a concave, but of course +2 is done for Biggs. We're going to see if he can press it right now. Violet actually had the better concave there. Biggs wasn't attacking with as many of his units for a while. In fact, Biggs not attacking with all of his. We just have this giant line of roaches, and we're just waiting to see who comes out on top. It looks like Violet was initially winning the war, but those upgrades may yet win out for Biggs.
Well, thanks to the reinforcements, it looks like Violet should take this very, very close, though. It's so tough to attack in ZVZ with roach numbers at this point in the game, just because the reinforcements from your opponent can swing things very quickly here. So yeah, despite the +2, Violet just having a little bit better concave, a little bit higher numbers, that was enough to win that fight. And yeah, just burrowing to kind of restore. But look at that, 166 to 117 right now. Violet taking a big supply lead. He could decide to try to take a fourth at this point, but I think he might just go for a kill here pretty soon. Neither player really going beyond roach tech, it looks like, in this game.
No, not at all. Contamination hitting the hatchery as well to prevent further production from happening.
Does he have another Overseer by the natural as well for that?
Let's see. No, just,
he does
just
not.
an Overlord.
Okay, I was wondering if we were going to see like a throwback to the really old style where people would try mass contaminate to keep the larva counts down, because it does delay those 4 larvae from the queen spell from coming out.
And it's, wow, actually 9 more roaches about to hit for Violet, so he's going to be on 64 to his opponent's 42 when all is said and done. Biggs trying to reinforce now as best as he can, but of course, it looks like Violet wants to wait for +2 weapons to finish up, which is going to time nicely with him maxing out, as he is just producing his 4th base as well.
Yep, taking that 4th as well and adding on the Hydralisk Cavern, but Hydralisk Den rather. It's not really a cavern, is it? But yeah, he's not going to, okay, he is going to attack right now. He does have +2, he does have the superior roach count.
Yes, he does.
Biggs' kind of slower economy kind of caused him to get behind, even though he was ahead in the upgrades.
Oh man, in just 40 seconds and +1 Carapace would be done, but it doesn't look like Violet's going to give him that opportunity. Banelings are rolling in, trying to soften up the front line of forces. A pretty good concave actually up for Biggs.
Yeah,
Violet kind of had a weird attack there, but he does have the sheer number count. Biggs has a shorter reinforcement distance though, and looks like he is slowly but surely fighting us back, but does Violet just have too much?
I don't know. I think this is going to be a very similar situation to what we saw on the other side of the map, although this time it looks like Violet barely having enough.
Yeah.
Wow, just powering his way through, but yeah, with the reinforcements, he needs to pull back again.
And now +1 Carapace is done for Biggs as well. He's only back by 20 supply, but he's going to be down a base here as that 4th base did just finish up.
Yep, that's right. So Violet continuing to stay ahead on the economy, and with the addition of these Hydralisks, that's going to make his army so much stronger here, too. The DPS is just going to be out of control with that. He will have his own +1 Carapace as well. He does not have Burrow, though, I think. So his units aren't going to be as effective in healing as Biggs's are.
All right, well, we'll see if he's going to get that burrow anytime soon, or if he's just going to concentrate on this large force that he's got moving out in a bit. Let's see, roach count is now in favor of Biggs, but of course there are 6 Hydralisks already on the field with 5 more popping for Violet. So 176 supply to 156, both players just continuing to build up once again, and Biggs just deciding to bypass his 4th altogether, and that's going to give Violet a big advantage if he's able to draw even or win the next engagement.
Yeah, going for that +1 Carapace instead, and I think, I don't know, I don't think that's the best decision for Biggs. I mean, yeah, he's like, all right, I just need to make my army as strong as possible because I know I'm going to have a numbers disadvantage. But, you know, at this point, you kind of need to take that risk and expand because you know you're not going to win a fight against this. And, yeah, the Hydralisks are going to take a while to get there, but
I love watching them jump off creep. So
I know,
hey,
yeah.
we're going. Hey! Calm down a little bit.
Violet needs to be careful here. He needs to wait for the Hydras. Okay, there they are.
All right.
And what a huge army for Violet. Yeah, huge DPS. Nice concave, though, for Biggs again. Did Violet miscalculate?
I don't know. We're going to find out as Biggs trying all he can right now. Upgrades are dead even for both our players. These Hydralisks are proving to be worth their weight in gold, but Biggs has a really, really nice concave, but he is slowly getting destroyed by the sheer might of these Hydralisks.
Yep, the Hydra's just too strong. The damage output is just too high. 31 roaches on the way as opposed to the 15 or so from Biggs. So Violet's economy just pumping up way too many units for Biggs to deal with. And yeah, he's like, all right, you can burrow. I guess I'll just kill other things until you decide to unburrow.
The damage output, it's too damn high.
That's right. Oh, he does get in and take out some of those Hydras here, too.
Yeah.
Nice job by Biggs.
Slowly trying to win this back right now, gain control of his front once again, but look at the reinforcements starting to come in for Violet.
Yeah,
he actually was able to get up to 182 supply again. His opponent just sitting on 90 at the moment, so double the supply. And going to be similar upgrades. There's the GG. Violet has taken the game and put an Empire just 1 game away. from taking the set.
That's right, and yet again we see the wins going back and forth between these two teams. Nobody able to take
No.
two games yet.